So I was supposed to start at this at 11:10, but couldn't get on my regular Instagram, so I had to come over to my backup Morpheus page, and I'm gonna be doing this one from here. This is the metaphysical mitochondria. So we got to get into the metaphysics of mitochondria. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to show y'all a couple of things. I wish I could share a screen with y'all on here. I don't know how to do that shit though. That's that advanced shit them kids be doing. I ain't advanced, but I'm advanced. I'm advanced at not being advanced. So if you go to Facebook, right? Facebook, you go to the search icon right here. Type in mitochondria. Right? And you're going to run into something like this. Now, see this picture right here? This is what we about to deal with. Right? That's the cell with the mitochondria in it. But before we go to mitochondria, there's something else we got to go to first. So, I go in, I click my name, and my posts pop up. And when they pop up, I have hold on one second. You'll see this. This is a mitochondria with a small breakdown. If you scroll down some more mitochondria. So as you scroll down, this is all posts that I've done with talking about the mitochondria at different times. And some of it is just mention mitochondria. Some of it, like this video, I might talk about it. This is a critical topic for our ascension information, right? But there's a very specific photograph I'm looking for, and here it is. All right, now, this is a photograph I took out of the comments of a mitochondrial post on the Crumb Snatcher group, right? And Crumb was the one who opened this platform up for me first, right? But this right here, this is mitochondria in the body. This is mitochondria in the soil. Now, this is the word. It's ARCHEA. So, I exit out of Facebook, and I go to the Google search engine, and I pull up the archaea. ARCHEA. Right? And here you'll see the archaeas. Same picture, right here. Now you're starting to get the mechanics. Right? So when I click on images, it starts breaking down the microbiology of the archaea. All right? Now, I wanted to show y'all that because that's what you call mitochondria in a unaltered state, a free radical state. Right? Now, when I go back, it's another breakdown of mitochondria before I start getting into the video. And this will give people a chance to get in here too. Right? This is, if you look, Crumb TV group, right? A Rod Hayes post in the Crumb TV group. Attack of Patriarchs, footnote, right? The motivator for this, Crumb and the sister had did a video, or did a live discussing the mitochondria and what happened. So, I started this post to say, woman know thyself. Only women can pass this form of gene. It is the link between spiritual and physical consciousness. Now, this is where you're talking about metaphysics, right? We're going to get to that in a minute. It say Wikipedia says the mitochondria is a double membrane bound organelle found in most eukaryotic organisms. Some cells and some multicellular organisms may, however, lack them. For example, mature mammalian red blood cells. A number of unicellular organisms such as microsporidia, parabasalids, and diplominoids have also reduced or transformed their mitochondria into other structures. To date, only one eukaryote, monocerosominides, is known to have completely lost its mitochondria. The word mitochondrion comes from the Greek word mitos, meaning thread, and chondria, meaning granule or grain-like. So it's like a piece of hair that's grain-like, right? And then it goes into the mitochondria itself with a picture and a diagram and a breakdown. The most important chemical process in the body for the women to understand, because when they become tuned in, right, on a harmonic resonance like this is a water being agitated by harmonics, right? Now remember, you got fluid in your body, right? So the sound causes the fluid to react. All right, now, also in the mitochondrial discussion, I posted this article. All right, I'm gonna show y'all. It's dated June. This is the 10th of June, 2016. It's this article. It says scientists are using the mitochondria to repair damaged nerve cells. So I'm gonna read it again. Scientists are using mobile mitochondria to repair damaged nerve cells. There's hope for new treatment for neurological disease after scientists just discovered a link between the mobilization of mitochondria inside nerve cells and the cell's subsequent regrowth. The team thinks that kicking the mitochondria into action could be the key to repairing damage done to the nervous system. Now notice they talking about the nervous system and mitochondria having the capability to heal the nervous system. Now, we know from severed spine injury and brain injury that normally, under normal conditions, nerve cells don't regenerate. Once they did, they did. But this is telling us that a remote form of mitochondria can jumpstart dead dead nerve cells, right? It go on to say mitochondria act as power supplies for cells, causing chemical reactions that give neurons the energy they need to extend nerve cells through the body. However, some aspects of the behavior of mitochondria change over time. That's a fact. In a mature adult cell, mitochondria are locked in place by a protein called synthephyllin, which means they can be as mobile as they are in younger cells, or they can't be as mobile as they are in younger cells. After taking steps to restore this mitochondrial mobility in groups of mice, researchers from the National Institute of Neurological Disorder and Stroke in the U.S. observed the regeneration of damaged nerve cells. Now, we're talking about mitochondria as a treatment for Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, retardation, stroke, all of those things, traumatic brain injury like concussion syndrome, can all be resolved using a mobile mitochondrial mechanism. Now, I'm not going to read that whole article, but I wanted to use that as a foundation because where I go next is to a supplement. The supplement is called PQQ, right? And what that stands for is pyrroloquinoline quinone, right? And what this is for, it promotes mitochondrial biogenesis, cognitive, and cardiovascular health. So now, we first was dealing with neurology in the brain and nerve cells. But when we start dealing with the chemical that stimulates the mitochondrial naturally in the body, now we dealing with cardiovascular health as well. So remember, mitochondria affects neurology and cardiology, heart and brain, brain and heart. Neurology is the brain, cardiology is the heart, right? So now, the PQQ is the supplement that we take to stimulate the repairing of the mitochondrial as you go through your ascension process, right? Now, the next thing we go to is we look up the definition of metaphysics or metaphysical, right? Because this is going to go to tie everything together from this point forward. Okay, so metaphysical is relating to metaphysics. Essentially, metaphysical question of the nature of the mind or characteristics of metaphysical poets, right? So, in simple terms, it's derived from the Greek meta, meaning after things of nature, referring to an idea, doctrine, or posited reality outside of human sense perception in modern philosophical terminology. Metaphysics refer to the studies of what cannot be reached through objective studies of material reality. So, now remember, brain, heart, right? Now, metaphysics is the explanation or the study of things that don't normally have a cognitive, descriptive explanation. You can't normally say in metaphysics, this is what this is, because metaphysics doesn't work like that. Now, this is where it started getting good. Now, metaphysics of the mitochondria takes us back to a video I did, and I'm gonna go back to Facebook. Yeah. I got a video called. It's actually the very first video I did. It's called "What Exactly Is the Holy Ghost?" Now, on those Return of the Patriarchs, or this is the video. Right? So in there, I start explaining how what we call in the church the Holy Ghost is actually amped up mitochondria coming through a circuit not prepped to facilitate that higher energy. So what does it do? Anytime you send energy in abundance through a system that can't handle that amount of energy, it vibrates. Whether it vibrates to a fire, whether it vibrates to an explosion, it vibrates. So what you're doing in the church is they're using what they call emotionalism to test the level of woke you is. Right? Now, a real woke person will know that when they catch the so-called Holy Ghost, they don't flop around like fish. That condition is called in the voodoo zumbe. The zumbe is the word, it's a French word that became the English word for zombie. But it really means the suppressed inner God force in you. It's suppressed. How is it suppressed? By suppressing the mitochondrial response mechanism. Now, when you hear about the intoxication of the sages, this is a mitochondrial intoxication. Now remember, earlier we went over the neurological influence of mitochondrial and we went through the cardiological. But what exactly do mitochondrial do? Mitochondrial is what you call the powerhouse of the cell. What that means? The powerhouse of the cell is where the cell inherently gets its energy. We use carbohydrates and glucose and proteins for different biological functions, but none of them can facilitate the breath, or what we call the burning, right? The burning is what your body temperature tells you about. It's an oxidization. The oxidization is taking place at a microscopic level within the blood. So the mitochondrial can only be turned up so high before you develop high enough to turn it up higher. The development has to be neurological, right? Because once you reach what you call a neurological mitochondrial threshold, what the fuck is that shit? The neurological mitochondrial threshold is as far as your father's mind can take you. Linear logic, direct step sequential thought. All right. So we talking mathematics. We talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We talking 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Linear logic. Linear logic keeps you fixed into a paradigm called a time continuum, because everything is done sequentially in a step. Well, mama don't work like that. Mama is the original multitasker, right? They study the mothers in our community so they can teach multitasking in university. Who would have fucking ever thought some shit like that? The reason why the women can multitask better than men is because women right brain, men left brain. First of all, right brain is abstract. It doesn't require linear. This is why when you doing this love shit don't make sense. It'll never make sense to a man, but it makes perfect sense to a woman. Men that love shit, man, we go with it. We'll roll with it, but we don't even really know what the fuck a woman talking about until she turn that shit on in you. Now, the basking in laying next to a woman that is aware that if she love you the same level as your mother, she's going to create what you call an energetic connection or energetic link at the heart chakra. Because remember, the brain already got mitochondrial shit, but it's the heart that's not turned on yet, right? The brain, you and your father mind, linear logic, you going to school, you acing your math tests, you acing your science tests, but you don't know shit about no love shit. That shit retarded. So, the mitochondrial is what you call unconditional love. Unconditional love means that I don't need no reason to love you, right? You don't have to do nothing for me. I just love you because I do. That's just enough. Unconditional. There's no conditions attached to it. I either love you or I don't. But just because I love you, don't mean I got to tolerate your bullshit if you on bullshit. Because a lot of us love people that be on some bullshit. We got to just admit it for what it is. Some of us love some real clown-ass motherfuckers. Okay, so the metaphysics is understanding the spirit science behind the physical actions of a mitochondrial cell. So you laying there, you feeling good about your life, you feeling good about the lady you laying next to, the kids that run into the room, the dogs that's barking in the backyard, you feeling good about the car in the driveway, and you just being in the feel good, right? And she laying next to you and she agree. That's the first link, that agreement to the mitochondrial connection. Now, the next thing that has to happen is this has to continue for a period of time, right? This is what they call the learning phase of the relationship. You learn her, she learn you. She don't like this about you, so she tell you about it. You don't like that about her, so you tell her about it. Normally, y'all can work together to overcome whatever the differences is, but some of us are so stubborn that we don't want to hear that shit. If you don't take my bullshit, then you don't like me because you don't like it because I leave my socks on the floor. Well, that's a relationship breaker for me. That's the dumbest shit in the world. Nigga, pick your socks up, right? But the energy while you laying there, she's in her mitochondrial best life mindset. She see a future with you. She starts manifesting the energy in her mind through her mitochondrial and her mental aspect, and she's already syncing with you in the heart region while y'all laying there watching goddamn fucking Saturday fucking Michigan U of M football game or the motherfucking Detroit Lions. I don't even like fucking football, right? I don't like baseball, but we might be sitting here watching this insignificant ass, don't give a fuck ass shit. But long as we next to each other, it don't matter. The energy, right? So we looking at this energy of mitochondrial, and then the woman starts to sink. Telepathy is a mental, metaphysical function. As you begin to wake up, you begin to set in with a telepathic link, right? That telepathic link is facilitated through the mitochondrial creating a 4-point connection, right? It's electric, magnetic to magnetic, electric. And it forms that just like putting the 9-volt battery in the flashlight, turn that motherfucker on. It worked because you got a positive polarity and a negative polarity that's operating in synchronization, right? So when we go into the mitochondrial, we find that it's the powerhouse of the cell. um, I'm trying to see a good picture of a mitochondria because the matrix is a critical component aspect of mitochondria. Let me look at this. See, mitochondrial. Right. So now we know Sophia Stewart is the one who wrote the movie The Matrix. I'm trying to find the simplest one of these that you will be able to see it real clear. That's not it. Okay. If you look right here, right at the top, let me see if I get some clarity on this camera. Right there, this say matrix. MATRIX. Right? This is a breakdown of a mitochondrial cell in the body. If this is gone out of your cell, you dead. You can't live on Earth with DNA if you don't have this. Right? This is right here. This is the capacitor, what we call a governor. The governor is to make sure that it don't get too much energy at one time. The woman turned it on in the man, and she adjusted according to his temperament so he don't fucking spontaneously combust. Now, this little small powerhouse of the cell called mitochondria is responsible for allowing the body to download the entire consciousness of an entire neutron star. So Left Eye named her album Supernova. What the fuck that mean? What is a supernova? Right? So she looking at a massive mitochondrial explosion. Right? When you go listen to her interview, she said that Dr. Sabi had her on a 40-day fast. And on this 40-day fast, she had the opportunity to see God in her meditative state, right? So the album came after that on Death Row Records called Supernova, but it was never released, right? So it's an unreleased supernova. In the spirit science, the supernova that's unreleased talks about a energy of greatness that has been suppressed, right? God on that fast. Now, about a couple days ago, I had a video of Left Eye, and she was down there, and she was like, "Why would I even leave here? This is like I've been dreaming about. This is heaven to me, right?" So it began to make sense why she wasn't coming back to this dumbass shit. No matter how you want to paint the picture, whatever you believe about it, but y'all see her again soon. Believe that, as well as Aaliyah. Now, the mitochondrial metaphysics. If the man doesn't do his self work, what do you mean if the man don't do his self work, man? You act like we don't even count. Like the man is insignificant. Your self work is more significant than you is. Because you can only prove yourself worthy by proving yourself worthy. And the only proof is in the pudding. In other words, what you put in shows what your grit is, what you made of. So how are you going to tell this woman that you do the leader, but you don't know where the fuck you going, right? So she's not going to listen to most men as far as being her leader, because most men has no idea where he going, and they go along to get along with a prefabricated artificial construct that we call the matrix, right? We call it the simulator, the matrix, the game, the flat earth, the round earth, the hollow earth, the concave earth, the convex earth, whatever the fuck you want to call it, don't matter, right? If you're gonna have a harmonious relationship, right, you have to first balance yourself, and then find the balance in the one that offer you a mitochondrial connection. The thing about mitochondrial connection is nature knows no color line, right? It don't matter. The least likely fucking Nation of Islam, white man, the goddamn devil, hang whitey, burn them all, put them to death, fall in love with a blonde haired, blue eyed little white girl. That shit. Love in all the wrong places. Everywhere you not supposed to find it because you're not even looking there. Right? But just because you looking there don't mean you're not going to find exactly what you're not looking for. Right? So when you understand that the metaphysics of the mitochondria is directly related to your immortality, and that all of the isms, the racism, the sexism, the politics, isms, all that bullshit is designed so you never, ever, 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 ever have an original, independent thought of yourself. Like you can't think of shit on your own. You got to go along to get along because you can't think. And you believe because you can't think that nobody can think better than you. Because you the thinkingest motherfucker to ever think behind two shoes. You sadly mistaken. Right? So, when we start analyzing why we here on Earth, what's the grand scheme? What's the big deal? Why in the fuck is we going through all of this bullshit? Like, what is our minds telling us about this reality that we are accepting? Right? Our mind is telling us that the mitochondria have been disrespected. This is what it's telling us. And once the mitochondria have been disrespected, well, we all know what happened when they disrespect the sweet water. Oshun takes that motherfucking shit back. And when she take it back, you have to prove yourself worthy to get it again. It's just that simple. So it doesn't matter what love don't make sense. That's the first thing you got to understand. It doesn't make sense to a rational mind. In psychology, they call love a delirium, right? But it's not the kind of delirium that you should run from. It's the kind you should embrace. Now, this doesn't make sense coming from the science of the mind. How can you embrace a delirium? Because of some shit called a honeymoon effect. Now, the honeymoon effect, if you go to, I'm going to show y'all because I can show you better than I can tell you. If you go to YouTube, right, and you type in Bruce Lipton, honeymoon effect. And this is what he's going to explain to you. I'm going to try to find a short one. Here's one 6 minutes long.
Many people are not aware they carry divine power.
Now, everything he's talking about is what, when you hear him saying the word, hold on.
Love open.
When you hear him saying love, translate that with mitochondrial response mechanism. That's what love is. Mitochondrial response mechanism. Now listen to this.
You to the world, which allows you to bring in the joy, the energy, and the happiness. Fear closes you down. Love enhances energy. Fear shuts the energy down. I'd like to talk to you about what is called the honeymoon effect. But to understand that, first we just have to simply say that only 5% of your life is coming from the conscious mind, the one with the wishes and desires and aspirations, the life that you would love to lead. 95% of our life comes from the subconscious habits that primarily were acquired by observing other people. So 95% of the day, you're not necessarily moving toward that wish of heaven on earth. And I say, but what happens when we fall in love? And the answer is, all of a sudden, in 24 hours, your life can radically change. Your life could be blah, 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 every day of your life until one day a change occurs. And in this case, I'll use, you meet someone that you fall in love with. And I say, what is the consequence of falling in love? Well, in a regular day, 5% of our life is created by the conscious mind, and thinking sends the conscious mind back into the inside of the head, which then makes the subconscious mind the driver of our life 95% of the day with its negative behaviors. But when you fall in love, guess what? You stop thinking. You stay mindful. What does that mean? That means, look, you've been looking for this person your whole life, and now they're in front of you. Why would you be thinking? You would be present and taking it in and living the moment that you can. Well, guess what? If you stop thinking, then the conscious mind is not working just 5% of the day, it's working over 90% of the day. And all of a sudden it said, well, now I'm creating my life from wishes and desires, not from the limiting programs in the subconscious mind. So falling in love is an opportunity to get out of the program. Well, first of all, let me just emphasize this. Falling in love is not just romance love. Falling in love is something that just takes your heart and opens it up. You can be a gardener and put your hands in the dirt, and that makes you feel so good and so healthy. That's a form of love. You can be a cook in a kitchen, creating wonderful recipes, and in that process, enjoying it so much that you stay present while you're cooking. And guess what? You're not reverting to your subconscious program. So the honeymoon effect does not necessarily mean just romance with a person. It could be happiness with your pet. It could be the gardening or the cooking, artwork, anything that you do that enhances your being here now rather than going back and operating from subconscious beliefs. The relevance of the honeymoon effect is love. Again, whether it's love for an individual or something that you're working on, why is that so vital for us? And the answer is profoundly important because love represents harmony between you and the environment in which you're living. And then harmony enhances your vitality because the energy of that is feeding you to be healthier and happier. In contrast to an experience of love, the opposite would be fear. I say, what's the relevant difference between that? The answer is love enhances your vitality and your energy. Fear closes you down. When you're in protection, you wall yourself off from the world around you. That's what protection is all about. So love opens you to the world, which allows you to bring in the joy, the energy, and the happiness. Fear closes you down while you think you're protecting yourself from any threats from the outside coming in. Love enhances energy. Fear shuts the energy down. And therefore, love enhances vitality because life is energy. Fear compromises vitality because fear is just the opposite. It shuts down your energy. So the honeymoon effect is really a recognition of what? Getting out of the negative programs, operating from wishes and desires, filling your body's blood with the chemistry that enhances epigenetics, which enhances your health, and makes life the joy that we love. So when you're in love, life is wonderful and beautiful. When you're in fear, you're shut down and afraid. So the difference is why love is so important in our world. Because life is driven by love, the energy of love. And in contrast, fear will shorten your life. The energy and chemistry of fear is actually the cause of almost all illness on this planet.
Okay, so when you see talking about the love is the foundation of life on this planet, and then the power cell, the power pack in the cell is the mitochondria. The way that I'm explaining it, it should be clear that now the love is the side effect of the amount of energy coming into the to raise the mitochondrial frequency in the cell that allows you to affect even your very. This is what he said in there. So epigenetics is a whole nother field of study, and it branches off from the mitochondrial research, which for further research on epigenetics, look up Tom Campbell. He got a book and a series of lectures called the My Big Toe, which is Theory of Everything. The theory of everything is the tying together of all of the loose ends in Einstein's theorem called unified field theory, in which all things are connected. Right? So when we talking about love response, fear response, right? He explained to you how in the fear response, you wall in, you close in, you restrict. But in the love response, you open up, you reach out, you expand because the energy is bigger. From the love energy, you can accomplish more, achieve more, attain more than you can if you close that aspect off. And so the metaphysics of understanding the mitochondria becomes so significant. So what we do with the 369 sister circles, three sisters, they represent the three sisters as the maiden, the mother, and the old crone, or what they would say the virgin, the mother, and the grandmother. However you want to look at it. It's three sisters. And these three sisters coming together in a love agreement, bond, right? That creates a Tesla field. It's the same as the GPS, right? Now, they mitochondrial can be artificially stimulated they can do it once they learn. In the church, they call it getting in to the spirit, right? And they teach Sufis how to activate the mitochondria, but they can't sustain the energy longer than 15 minutes after the ritual. Where if a group of women did the same ritual, the same mitochondrial stimulating ritual, it becomes contagious. Make them want to dance. They spin around like whirling dervishes. They dance all up and down the street. You can't stop them. They sing all the time. Everywhere they go, they won't stop smiling. This fucking woman is contagious. Everywhere she go, miserable motherfuckers start getting happy because she in that mitochondria energy. And it most powerful in groups of 3. The reason why is because you forming a 369 Tesla connection. Right? And it's the 369 frequency of the universe that manifests transfer from non-physical ideas to the manifestation in a physical world. Requires those 3 wombs. Those 3 wombs then tied with 3 more. Who tied with 3 more? Now you didn't triple that. So this is based on, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this in YouTube, but I'm going to try it. Because the only way I know is if I look. But if you pull up Law of Success and 16 Lessons by Napoleon Hill, and Napoleon Hill, and you look in the one part of the book, he got a part called the Mastermind Group. Now here, I'm not going to play all this. This is 9 minutes long, 10 minutes long, but this is an insight into that connection of mitochondria, right? And this is what is called creating the mastermind group. When you get those 3 sisters together, that creation is invincible.
So you want to know where to invest $1,000 right now? Well, forget about stocks, real estate, or cryptocurrency.
We come now to the second of the 17 principles which lead to the master key with which you may open the door to the attainment of your definite major purpose in life. This principle of success is called the mastermind principle. I want you to understand the nature of the mastermind principle because you must use it before you can take possession of the master key. An understandable definition of the mastermind is this. It consists of 2 or more people who work in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose. Now, here are some interesting facts about the mastermind which give you an idea of how important it is and how necessary that you embrace this principle and make use of it in attaining success in your chosen occupation. First of all, it is the principle through which you may borrow and use the education, the experience, the influence, and perhaps the capital of other people in carrying out your own plans in life. It is the principle through which you can accomplish in 1 year more than you could accomplish without it in a lifetime if you depended entirely upon your own efforts for success. And I have heard well-informed Bible students say that the first known application of the mastermind was that which existed between the Nazarene and his 12 disciples. Of one fact, I am absolutely sure. When you form a true mastermind alliance with others and work with them in a spirit of perfect harmony, you can draw freely upon the spiritual forces within you in carrying out your plans and desires.
Okay, now you heard what he said. Once you understand this principle, you can freely call upon the spiritual forces within you. This is your mitochondria you talking to. This is that link. This is that metaphysical connection between the spirit realm and the physical realm. And it's a direct link through the mitochondria. The fact that you have a portal, mitochondrial, neuromelanin, right? That's already a 3-point convergence of creative energy right there, right? But now you find a male where you can get the 4th, which is the heart link. Because all creation manifestation is stronger when it's coming from the heart place, what they call the true place, the divine place, right? And so once you understand this, the mitochondrial connection then is not fought against. You have to embrace it, right? Most men in the 99 percentile, which is almost everybody, has no clue that they are being synced mitochondrial wise with a feminine, right? This mitochondrial energy is strong enough to convert a full-fledged homosexual man, make him be a loyal husband at home and never think of that gay shit no more. That's how serious it is with the healing aspects of mitochondria. Now, when we go to the biblical story, Jesus is Isis. Right? Y'all got to remember that, because the most critical part, it's a song by Sam Cooke. And the song say, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, I know I would be made whole. And it was then that the Savior came to town, and there was a group of people around him, and this one lady was just fighting just to touch the hem of his garment so she could find healing, right? This can't be no man, because this is pure Oshun, full throttle, unobstructed mitochondrial force, just by touching it with the same reverence that lady that was trying to touch the garment. The connection is an instant healing process. But they say the Savior turned around and said, who touched me? Right? He said, because I can feel the energy. I can feel the energy leave when somebody touched me. Right? Somebody touched her. She was able to feel that energy zap like an electrostatic shock. This is a mitochondrial jump from one sister to another in order to facilitate healing. So in the training center, because Rashida always asks me what kind of schooling we're going to be doing. In the training center, we're going to teach women how to use conscious, willful, active mitochondrial healing, which right now we're trying to get past some other stuff before we can even get to that point. But in this process, you will learn that when a woman don't have to fear, no fear. She don't need to fear nothing, because she know that if you fuck with her, this big ass gorilla she got sitting next to her gonna beat your ass from pillar to post, from motherfucking strip you from asshole to appetite about her. As long as you don't give her no shit, that stone motherfucker right there not moving. He don't give two shits about what y'all doing. Just don't piss her off. As long as mama happy, everybody happy. Ain't that how it go? Right? Ain't so nobody never say as long as daddy happy, everybody happy, because even daddy want mama happy. Because daddy can't get no good loving if mama ain't happy. And if daddy don't get no good loving, then what the fuck the kids gonna be hearing all this bickering and getting screamed at, yelled at, everybody miserable, walking around with all toe up. Can't nobody get along, but when the love genuine and the environment is harmonious, that shit catches in the air like a hurricane picking up a trailer that ain't strapped down, right? And it takes the atmosphere of the environment to a whole nother level, right? So when we talk about the desecration of the holy places, they stripping out the uteruses, cutting off the mammary glands to defeminize the woman, emasculate the man. All this is working to keep you away from ever reaching a functional mitochondrial link, because we can't have you motherfuckers running around in that love energy, because then we can't control you, because you present in the moment, what they call in the East the Tao. You living in the Tao, and the Tao can only be lived in the now. Right? So when you go deeper into spirit science, now you understand why they don't want priests to marry and monks to marry. Because with that high level of spiritual attainment, if they make a mitochondrial connection, they will automatically start to alter the reality of the earth just by that connection alone. And that's why they try to teach the monks to take a vow of celibacy, so that if he turned his spirit self on, this motherfucker ain't gonna never connect with no woman, so we don't have to worry about him. It's a control mechanism, right? And so, when we study the mitochondrial, we study it in the earth, we study it in the woman, we study it in the man. The woman can pass it, she can adjust it, right? The man receive it, he can accept it, but he can't change it, right? So this is a serenity prayer. So if man understand what's taking place, like he feeling this chick. She don't look like his type. You know, you done seen him. He had some bad motherfuckers in his day. What they call dime pieces on his arm. Sometimes two of them. And then he got this regular plain Jane chick come through and sweep him off his feet. Fuck his whole world up. Right? He would never let those other chicks make a mitochondrial connection. Because he was superficial with them. But he was nonchalant. Meaning neutral. When he's nonchalant with that mediocre looking chick, she got a better chance of making a mitochondrial connection because there's no over drive to her and there's no flight scenario from her. He just be when he with her because he don't not care, but he don't care too much either, right? So Kevin Trudeau say, not Kevin Trudeau, what's his name? Yeah, was it Kevin Trudeau? Cures they don't want you to know about. Anyway, he said in his Secret Master course, he was saying that we know it's going to happen. Where everybody else is wishing or hoping, we know it's going to happen. They think, they wish, they hope, they desire, but we know it's going to happen. Right? Why do we know it's going to happen? We know because we feel it. We feel it from the love energy. They think it, they suspect it, they want it, they hope for it. All that's fear. When you knowing is a position of confidence. Confidence is a position of stability. And from the position of stability, then you can get into the mechanics of the scenario. So now we're talking about the love coming in on a wave of energy from source, and it comes through the mitochondrial, and the mitochondrial only going to give you enough source energy to function in your lifetime until you find the right partner in which you just be, and she just be, and then y'all just be being together, and y'all enjoying it. And then y'all enjoy it some more. Then when y'all go places, y'all just spend time together. Y'all just, it's like, it's a connection. It's a synchronization. It's a dragon's dance. Two masters. Right? So, when you turn that mitochondrial on, it affects the heart and brain connection. And that's why earlier in the video, in the live, we was talking about the mitochondrial influence on the nervous system and the mitochondrial influence on the heart. Now, the heart cells at the stem cell level, they pulse on their own, right? Soon as the heart cell forms, it start pulsing. But guess what? So does a nervous cell. That's what you don't know. Your brain, just like your heart, you got a brain beat, right? Your brain beat moves chemistry. It moves according to your balance and your frequency. It don't operate like your heart. Because if you operated with your brain like your heart, you would not be able to function because you only use two quadrants or two of the chambers in the brain to pump cerebral spinal fluid, and that's why you have to go through such rigorous self-development in order to activate the four chambers of the brain, right? Which we talked about that in the 36 chambers on the Wu-Tang knot, right? And of those 36 chambers, we was going through the four in the brain, right? So those connections, those links, that energy called mitochondrial, that's pure spirit energy, right? But when you say the word spirit, you actually saying breath. And breath is which I knew I was coming there for some reason. So understanding the breath, the breathing process helps you to synchronize the metaphysics, right? The breath is the spirit. This is your life force, right? The mitochondrial is the powerhouse of the cell that utilizes the breath. The breath is coming in as all of this air out here with different components. But the key component that the body is required is oxygen for the combustive process known as oxidization. The iron in your blood rush, you turn brown. But if you had magnesium in the place of iron, like it used to be, with the copper, you would turn green or blue, depending on your level of green, right? So some of the greens get so rich that you look blue. People have changed a lot since Atlantis, and some of y'all gonna be remembering blue people. Y'all remembering Atlanteans, right? So that's just a quick overview of the metaphysics of mitochondria. The video I did, exactly what is the Holy Ghost, got more details of the mechanics of it than probably I did in here. But I went over a lot of different angles of looking at it to give a different understanding of what mitochondria is, what mitochondria does, right? Because once you understand what it does, then you'll know how it affects you, right? Because when these women start turning y'all mitochondria on, I'm telling you, y'all think I'll be bullshit. You seen it on the news. These motherfuckers diving out motherfucking windows, running their heads in the walls, fainting, dropping dead in places. Their mitochondria getting shut off because they won't raise their frequency. They all thinking about this go along to get along process to this dead system. This shit is over with. This shit is as dead can get. And all of these people chasing that motherfucking jab, y'all, that's on y'all. You know, this shit over with, right? So we're gonna start taking some questions from here. I got 2 callers on standby. I don't know who was on there first, but I'm gonna take these 2 callers, and they probably gonna cut this video soon because they only normally give me an hour. I'm surprised this one's still going. But let me see who we got in here. Oh, God, definitely gonna get my honey badger in here. Yeah, this makes for a good day. Free Larry Hoover, free the chairman. Y'all gonna see this shit gonna be real in the motherfucker. Keep bullshitting. Hey, honey badger, what's going on?
Nothing. I can't believe
How
I'm
you?
awake listening. I was doing a happy dance outside
When?
about 5 minutes ago.
Before you came and started watching the video?
No, since I've been watching the video, I thought I canceled my request.
Why you in here now? What's on your mind? But we need
I
to
don't know.
tell
I
people
was
that
I was learning and taking notes.
tell me what you learned.
Well, I'll say it's confirmation of what you and I've been chatting about. So,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest,
So yeah, look, I was gonna do this video earlier, right? And I walked my dog. I got outside, got me some fresh air, and I was just looking at the elements. Right? It was cold as hell outside. I wasn't even cold.
yep, I was sweating today all day. It's it's
Yeah,
it's cold.
my hands got a little cold though.
That's extremities, but the heart good.
Yeah, you got a good heart. That's what I
But
said. For
they
I'll be
say
like,
if you if I don't know what the saying is, but if you got cold hands, good heart, whatever. Yeah.
well, that can't. Well, I know how to control how cold my hands get and my feet. I learned that, and I was locked up walking on the back 40, and you can't go in till the yard is over with.
So what's the secret?
It's mental, right? It's mental. So this is what you do. First, you ball your fists up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blow breath in both hands.
I do that
And
all the
then,
time. Okay.
now keep them balled while you focus on the heat
Like I'm about to
from
freeze.
when you blew in your hand, right? If you focus on the heat while you walking, it'll get bigger. Before you know it, your whole hand, your palms will start sweating.
The crazy thing is when it was really cold, like almost single digits, a picture from when it was 100 and what was it, 7 or 3 that day, and I took a picture and I was sitting outside, like right, cold or heat, I'm outside.
I know. I see
Like
you every day out there.
I ain't scared of this weather. I'm making it happen.
Well, I ain't scared either. I just ain't letting nobody have my cornbread. That's all. I ain't scared, but they can't have my cornbread.
Speaking of cornbread, aka our land, aka they about to go down, and they threw all kinds of signs today on TV or their little podcasts, as I say, Zooms. But yeah, it even trickled down to the local radio. Um, this is what you call, I guess, a Blackmore agent type of thing. A local attorney got on and he was telling people like, y'all better run to Africa. It's about to go down. Y'all better not stand up and get in this fight. So, people was calling all in and it was like, one, we ain't going to Africa. I mean, they was
When the
breaking down
fuck?
all types of reasons why. None said the main reason what we know, but they were saying that their grandmother was here. We gonna survive. We about to knuckle up. So the cry got out.
Hey, look, I ended up getting caught on 2 lives earlier on the humbug earlier today.
You
But
say humbug, you know what that really
yeah,
means.
what
My
it mean?
ancestors said that all the time. Humbug. Go ahead.
What's a humbug?
It actually means worthless coin, which is what the dollar is.
Hey,
And he
check this
would
out.
spit.
You
Why
know,
he
you
would
know
he
my
would spit when he said it. And I
look.
had to look it up. It was an English term. And I'm like, why is this man in South Carolina spitting, saying humbug?
Hey, look. So I go on my scavenger hunt when I be going on my walks, right? I found I'm just walking. I look down. It's a quarter and it's a penny, right? So then I get down to almost to the dot.
Hmm.
I get this. I don't even know what the fuck to call it. A fur ball. It go on the
What made you pick
dashboard.
it up energetically?
0. Oh, 0. Look.
My
So I'm
boy.
walking 0. I'm
Yes,
walking
by
0, right?
Humbug Scrooge. Yes. So I'm
I'm
reading the
walking.
comments too. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm walking 0, and I took a couple pictures while I was out there. Coming back, so he sniffed the ball. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It looked like a baby skunk, right? Because it looked like a little baby skunk there with a little white streak on it. The white streak was a string. So I go over there, I pick it up and look at it, and I realize it's just a fur ball, right? I'm trying to find my
Somebody said dark matter.
Anyway, so I picked that up, and then on the way back, before I left, I was talking to somebody about Titania. I was telling Big Mama about the cat dog flip, right?
I've been on that
Because I
all
was on
day.
Yep.
secretly too. And so all of us are getting the messages. And you guys, this is what happens in your life. Like things you see along your path, Rod picks it up. I don't pick up stuff off the street unless it's like really drawn to me or something. But from the animals and just telepathically, certain things you'll see on your friends' posts and stuff, those are you're getting them downloads and messages and triggers that we're all on this frequency.
So look, we walking up is that Philadelphia?
You said
And that's a
that
cat. This cat was looking at Zero. Zero didn't see the cat. Right. So I stopped and took a picture of him. Right now. Zero, come here.
I don't like cats, but I'm telling you, I've been seeing all these cat
But see,
posts.
see Zero? So look, the cat
That's
is
my
the
boy.
black and white cat. That's called the colors is called a Boston, right?
That's like Sheba. Sheba's more like a cat. She's a sphinx than a dog, and that black and white.
Right. Now the color, that black and white color is called a Boston.
Okay.
The most common animal with that color is a Boston Terrier.
Okay.
All right. Now the Boston, it's a baseball flip. So the Boston got the what? White Sox?
This is how we flip
Red
receipts,
Sox.
guys. I'm thinking spades. Run a Boston.
And so look, it's 4 bases to a home plate. So it's a baseball flip.
Off the
It's a
MLK.
Sox.
Yeah.
It's a Sox flip because
Red
Boston
Sox.
got the Red Sox, right? And Chicago got the White Sox.
Yep.
All right. B comes before C. Unless it's a radio, it's a CB then.
We talked about that the other day. CBs.
Okay, so that's the flip.
Right.
The flip is a confirmation, which is a 10-4 flip.
Somebody said they had a Boston Terrier in the snow globe.
Yeah. Now, what they call their feet, they call those socks when their feet got the white on them. That's called their socks.
Yes.
Right. So a dog get 4 socks, but a human only get 2. So it's a comparative analysis because the cat get 4 socks too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a feline canine flip.
Yep.
It's a feline canine flip. And the feline is the cat, and the cat is ruled by Sekhmet, and Sekhmet is a lioness, and the lions rule the pride, right? And the pride is governed by the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo governs the heart. Right? So it's a Sekhmet not to who? Where's the dog guy in Egypt? That's Anupu, Anubis. Right? And now they think Anubis is the jackal, but all the time he's something called a pharaoh hound. Right?
The thing I seen in my alley around, are we talking about the same thing?
A pharaoh hound don't bark.
No, it don't.
He can't bark.
It's the what is it called?
The Basenji?
No. It's been sightings all over. The chupacabra.
Oh,
that was in the alley.
Yeah. Don't fuck with the chupacabras. The chupacabras don't care nothing about us. They just want to suck the blood.
Mm-hmm.
But it's better chupacabra than pedocabra. That's a goat sucker versus dog sucker. A chupacabra mean goat sucker. Pedocabra mean dog sucker. But it's a joke we made in the joint. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we used to call salami eaters pedocabras. A little penitentiary humor for the people on the street side. But anyway,
We gotta
so
get them out, by the way.
we still at the baseball game, ain't it? Because it's a hot dog man in the stands. Hey, my father used to sell hot dogs. This is a father line flip in
Right.
Chicago on
Yep.
63rd, right? So my father used to sell hot dogs. He had a rap song he used to
I
sing.
need you to research where that Sphinx was, though, in Chicago.
Sphinx in Chicago?
In
Was it
18
underwater?
something. No, it was 18, right around that World's Fair.
Yeah, that's right before they sunk half of Chicago, too.
So how did they sink it?
They busted the dam. It was a natural dam.
Okay, so another receipt. We're going to keep flowing. I don't know why I'm channeling We Rockin'. And this lady gets on. She posted earlier today. She's like, where's the water? She says she's in Mississippi. She got to cross many bridges to get to her house because she made it so that it was difficult to get to. And the rivers are empty, right? So all the waters now are over there in Turkey and all types of craziness. Floods down. Hey, Christine, down south. So I'm seeing, went back into time and then back forward to what Trump has been talking about with these dams in Sudan and Ethiopia, and the Nile over there is dry, and it ties to prophecy, and it's like dams, these dams. Oh, he said the Sphinx is in Grand Canyon, and that's another thing I posted about the forefathers crap. What is that? From Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody dropped a little clue that that's where the Hall of Records is. The ancient Hall of Records.
Yeah, that's called the well, I'm not gonna touch that. But look,
Can't touch
you
it.
brought up the dams, right? I was on I think it was the Young Vice Lord channel, Benji, and they was asking me about the Hoover Dam because they had some intel that they was talking about blowing the dam. I hadn't got no intel on it. But
Well,
what
your
is
dream
looking
about burning house and the drop today was that people have been studying the White House and they have been prepping for demolition. So
blow that bitch up, burn it up.
So that's what I'm saying. And they were saying it ties into the symbolism. At least one side wants to do it, and they've always done that. It's a sign of invasion. A coup is about to go down. So I just wanted to give you that part about your dream of a burning house.
And it's a knockback off of Notorious B.I.G. on a burning bed off of a Faith Evans on the March 9th Burning Bed movie premiere on the turnaround, because March is the third month and the ninth. That's a 369 turnaround off of a 36 flip. That's a Tanique Reviews flipping. He was trying to knock for me today, but I was ignoring his ass.
Who?
Because he be getting Tanique Reviews on YouTube. Like, he be flipping me all kind of signs, but sometimes he flips so many of them, I literally have a headache for 2 days.
Oh, he worse than me?
Oh, yeah. Because what he be doing is he get all his intel off the Wind Talker channel, and when he flip it to me, he give it to me.
Right.
And sometimes I can't process it fast enough, and I took up half the day just to get through one of his videos because I be seeing so much shit.
Bring Christina on. She said she keep getting booted out. You talking about this mitochondria? You might as well bring in, one of the Powerpuff Girls, cause she been on it.
I don't see Christina. Christina, send me an invite, sweetie. Look, I remember I told you I was on 2 lives this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I had mentioned that I was doing this one. They blocked me on my regular page, and I didn't even do nothing. You just block me. Like, fuck you. You ain't
The
doing no
Hoover
lives on this.
Dam is on Colorado River. Larry Hoover's locked up in Colorado.
It's a knock to a knockback off a CC flip, which goes to that other picture I took. Now watch this.
2 days, somebody asked me. Less than 2 days. The 21st
Now,
of January is.
I don't know if you can see it, how good you can see this, but in this picture is 1, 2, 3 in a pyramid shape. Those are CO2 canisters, right?
I remember them canisters.
Right. So it's 3 of them in a pyramid. They made a pyramid in the middle of the street. Same street I passed the cat on.
I know where that is.
Okay. Now, when I seen the 3 cylinders, the first thing came to my mind was CO, CO, CO. Right? That's 3 COs, 3 corrections officers. Right? But unless you pronounce it in Star Trek's terms, it's C3PO, which is an android. And I'm talking to you on the Android because my Apple was hooked up to my other one and I couldn't get through on it. So I had to come in on Morpheus the Mystic.
I was wondering why you was over here. I was like, you hiding from me?
Nope. So Morpheus
Somebody said
the
that
Mystic
dog's name is Coco. Go ahead.
I had a dog named Coco. Matter of fact, I had 2 of them. But I had one with an underbite. It was a poodle like this.
Somebody said 1-9-11 is reverse 9-11, y'all to flip.
That's a good knock. So that's Twin Towers down on the left and the right, off the knock to the knockback on the zigzag flip.
That's crazy because I was saying about the Twin Towers, about like 9/11. They about to do a 9/11 to make y'all like shock and awe. And Russia's been talking about doing a false flag. Like, she sent a request. Bring her in, bring her in. Woo! Let's go, Christina.
Hey, Empress, what's going on?
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
That's how we do. That's
how we doing. We the beast.
Hey, look, that's crazy because under my
she the scale, the Leo, and we got the Scorpio. Oh no. Oh no. He turned.
So
that
look,
poodle, that's a poodle flip rod, somebody said. I'm on the Android too.
My mama had a white poodle named Classy. Right? But she was a teacup poodle. Right? And a teacup is a coffee cup. And you was drinking the coffee. I got the picture of you with the coffee cup. Right? And the cup flips a puck. It's a hat trick. It's a hockey flip.
Here goes somebody said, notice the 9 like 0. Any number next to 9 takes over. and so, your dog is 0.
Yep. Yep. And so 0 looked like 7. 7 was my reincarnated Cocoa Pup dog with the underbite, but he was a pit bull.
One of them
now
ugly
Coco got hit when I was visiting my father by a bus. I was like 7 years old, ironically.
Shut up, Rod.
My father was living on Pike Street.
It's a powerful flip.
Ooh.
A pike is a big fish with teeth. It's called a gar pike, unless it's a northern pike. A northern pike look more like a bass, but a gar pike look like a swordfish. Comparative analysis is on the fish flip.
And you know what? I'm the marine biologist, and you know way more animals than I do.
And that's because my first love was zoology, studying animals.
My first love was the ocean, currents, everything under. Atlantis vibe all day.
I worked in a zoo.
I came out.
And I work
Hey,
at
I
the
used to
zoo.
come in and ask my father about a certain animal. He was like, well, I don't know nothing about that goddamn thing. What the fuck is you talking about? I asked him about a platypus when I was little. He said, oh, who? Don't you be coming in here cussing.
Our people, we gotta love them. Do you know somebody today? She told me I was lying. I was like, I'm 44. She was like, you 27. I said, no, you don't see the gray hair. She said, well, I thought you might have had something. You know, a lot of people have gray hair. She was like, you lying. I was like, why would I lie and add age? Now we know about taking age off. I was sitting here like, what is going on?
So
Benjamin
the
Button.
44, it's an Angel Flip on Angel Bay. Angel Bay in Chicago. Angel
Okay.
Bay is Angel Bay is the Red Bull. Look, you ain't seen my screensaver today, had you on my Facebook? It's 3 bulls in the game right now. 3 bison. Red Bull and 2 blue bulls. So I was talking earlier about the bison that offered itself up because he done lost it. He done lost his harem. He done got his ass kicked. Now he just got an attitude. Anyway, so we were talking about that earlier, and this is my screensaver.
Wow.
I seen a bison somewhere in the post. I don't know why or where or it's crazy you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a single bison, and he was like the camera's like right there, and he was licking his nose.
Yeah.
I've been
So
on
we
the
got
animal channel lately. I don't know why. Yeah.
So look, check this out. You got
You
the
saw
Red
it.
Bull.
Somebody shared it. Yeah.
Red Bull right here, Angel Bay. This is a blue bull. This is an orange bison, but he trimmed in blue. That's California, Orange County. That's Big Tookie. And then
Okay.
this is Larry.
I see it.
Right now, most
That's
people
crazy.
would never
Somebody else
picked it
talk
up
about
because
bison.
yeah.
Somebody just
And
And
the
like
other person shared what I saw. You catching up?
I'm trying to catch up to the comments.
You never look at comments. We're gonna just get you better.
What I used to do on Facebook is after the video go off, I go back and review the comments in case there was some questions I needed to answer. So they used to give me information for the next live and all that shit. But on Instagram, they on some bitch ass shit.
Yep. It's real bitch assness on this bitch.
I thought
Fuck the
Facebook was bad.
metaverse.
God damn.
Yeah, they don't even save the comment or anything. You can't even look back
Nothing.
at all.
And then it took me like about 5 minutes to get into this live. So I don't even know. Like it was on some bullshit to just get on this today.
Well, I didn't even know you had sent a request. I was just going
No,
over
I'm
the
just talking about
information.
opening the live. I couldn't even get in at all. I couldn't open it.
Oh yeah.
It said live and it was going circle. I was like, you know what?
It just kept booting me off every time I try to get on. They just don't want us guys together right now. That's all.
Well, they fucking with the right one to make this shit work, even when they trying to stop it.
Period.
Because if I could figure out a way.
At every given time, every given moment.
And we got the scale right here for balance, justice.
That's that.
About to be on. This is a powerful live right here.
Yeah. And that we got to send these warnings out. So
We ain't wanting nobody no more. We passed that now.
I passed that.
Let they
If y'all not ready,
we didn't look, Christine. The many receipts that you then cashed
too
in,
many.
warning these motherfuckers. You ain't nothing else you can do.
At all. I tried it. That's why
Many
I said I
look.
would sit back now and watch everything.
And that's why I saw us telling you to sit back It's almost time for us to be quiet. Like,
Exactly.
y'all about to see all the rest of the receipts we've been telling.
I've been laying low. Now they still ain't put 2 and 2 together until today. I told them, I said, hey, the next agenda is them children. Y'all better take them babies out of that school. Nobody heard
Yeah,
that. But now
we was talking about that earlier. I remember I was told because I was trying to call Rashida because she went to work earlier, but I was on 2 lives. Both of them, I think we talked about the schools and what they doing. Right? This is what they gonna do. For the idiots that keep sending their kids to that shit, they gonna lock the school down because somebody in the school with COVID. They gonna tell them the school quarantine, and they gonna try to take their kids, and that's gonna be the set off.
period. And they not.
That's gonna be the
They
set
don't
off.
see
But
it.
they dumbass shouldn't be sending their child to the enemy camp anyway
Period.
to be
They
miseducated.
don't see it
At this time, right now, if they don't see what's going on, there's nothing you can tell
at
them.
all.
I put my mayor when he brought them little fucking test kits today. I woke up this morning on the wrong side of the bed. I was on it. If I see him, it's about to be a citizen arrest. You keep your motherfucking hands off our children.
Period.
I'm not gonna sit idly by no more when I know what the fuck they doing. And that's some bitch shit. And I'm not no bitch when it comes to these kids.
Next thing
and everybody we watching. I'm not letting us kill our children no more. It's enough is enough. And I'm serious about this.
I'm ready to fuck up some shit. Let's do this. When it comes to them children, that's it. We ain't playing about that. It's wartime now. Been wartime.
Worse than all that. Worse than anyone else putting our neck on the line about these babies. Worse than that is our people is freely giving a baby to the enemy.
Tell it.
To be educated.
Tell it.
To be a slave. They doing it. You hear the parents when the COVID shit first, they was bitching because kids wasn't at school. Cause now they gotta spend time with their child. What the fuck you?
They actually gotta do the work. They gotta learn and shit the same. I was like, what?
I didn't know that how dependent the people was on educational systems to raise their child. And that shit is repulsive, sickening, and motherfucking retarded. You allow your children to be raised by a system, they're going to be raised to be a cog in a wheel.
Period.
Right? That's all they can teach them. The system can only teach them how to sustain that current system.
They don't want you thinking out the box. They don't want you challenging the system. And everybody that did that, they took them out. And I don't care what color they were. If you challenge this corporation and its greed, I don't care if it was a non-profit, they was on you. You was using them dollars.
Hey, look. Simone sent me these, right? You remember?
Yep.
All people, all places,
all
passions, right? So, on Instagram, one of my friends named Buddha Day sent me this one. Look at what it say.
Wait a minute, you going to have to do it because it's backwards.
It's backwards.
Bro, anybody know?
I'm about to read it.
All right.
It say what goes around comes around.
My dyslexic works.
Remember those who assumed you were beneath them.
Why can't I read that now? Shit. All right. Maybe that's what's wrong with me my whole life. No, bro, it's another flip. You got that's that mirror shit. And it's another function that you gotta do that.
Right. So look, when I was in the joint, we used to practice reading upside down what was on the CO desk. Right. So they used to write you up. Right. And the write-ups, if we see them, if it was a major misconduct, whoever was closest to it had to steal it. No matter who you is, if you see that write-up and it's unattended, you got to get that motherfucker. And you got
All
to
right,
give it
so
to
why
whoever.
is there that loyalty in jail, but when we come out here, we don't have it?
In there, it's what you, okay, so look, the people that they take to prison, they understand the concept of unity, even though they don't always get along with each other as inmates. They click up on that principle of unity.
I mean, y'all don't see that Earth can be considered the same way, so I don't, but keep going.
Okay, so in there, the COs abuse their power so common that all inmates become defensive to the abuse of power by their overlords, right? So anything that an inmate can do to sabotage the system, fucking over somebody, an inmate gonna do it.
Star seeds. That's what my daughter, the game my daughter plays.
Mhm.
She always starting riots to try to break out.
That's right.
Hey,
To
where's
save her money for nuclear strikes.
somebody put in Pike Place Coffee? Where is that at? What city is that in?
Say it's in Delaware.
I used to live in Delaware, where the green grass girl, where the Batman stepped on the Joker's toe. The
You
Joker
ain't gonna say
said,
the
I'm the
Trump.
FBI. Batman said, you a goddamn lie.
This shit going on right now with Trump. He just tweeted, I'm Batman. And Rob was like, no, I'm Batman. It was like, all right, somebody Batman.
Hey, look.
Oh, homeschool
So,
now.
yeah,
Rob said some stuff got happen first. We getting it. We working it out.
yeah. So, but if somebody got some kids that want to talk, you know, you can always put them on.
Don't say that,
And
Roger. You know Mary get on here quick.
Look,
me and
all
Mary be
right,
chopping the brain
everybody
up.
here is a witness because I've been begging. I've been begging. So, and I've asked other people to mention to Rod. So I'm glad we're all here witnessing. You're going to teach our kids at some point during a certain time of the day, and they tune in.
Mm-hmm.
They get the knowledge, and we reprogram our kids. Thank you. And we will
But you
pass the
gotta,
donation plates.
well, you know, I can't refuse a donation, but I
I know.
can't solicit none either.
I know. No, I'm just making it, putting it out there. The love of you teaching our children the right shit.
Stuff works fast.
Yeah. So look, I want to say this video. I don't want it to be too much longer, but I'm gonna come back on, and then we're gonna do just Q&As and take people in.
You guys can hit me up in the inbox. If we're not friends, I gotta go through the requested people, so I gotta do that. But the homeschool stuff, I'm working on it, and I can hit up with Christina and the other sisters that I know are doing it. We just gotta get on Rod's schedule since his live schedule.
And for those who wanna y'all trying to figure out what to do with your kids, all you gotta do so you can meet their guidelines, go to the school board and ask about their links so that y'all can go ahead and pull your kids out of school.
But they might not allow you to. Like, I've been getting resistance. They're not trying to release. So I ain't even playing. But I do have
Hey,
backup
look,
if you
listen,
need
listen,
the paperwork to show.
listen. Ain't nobody at that school laid in that motherfucking labor room or in that motherfucking bed when you was fucking to tell you what to do with your child.
Mm-hmm.
Stop giving the state more power over your child than you're willing to take on yourself.
Yeah, take them out. Just pull them kids out. You know what I'm saying?
Just you don't need their permission to stop sending them.
Yeah.
You don't need their permission, right? Because you asking the enemy, is it okay for me to stop sending my child to your training camp so you can teach them how to be slaves?
Period.
They not gonna never agree to that shit because they want to keep your slave for eternity.
I said,
It just so happened that I refuse to be their slave. Fuck them motherfuckers.
And that's what ties in with Marvin was kind of talking about. These doctrines, they do in these belief systems, whether it's heaven or hell or whatever, or another set of prison.
Listen, heaven or hell has nothing to do with us. That
I'm talking
shit
about
don't got
just
nothing to
freeing
do with
our
us.
consciousness.
I know. Once you understand it don't got nothing to do with you, you free your conscience free to the motherfucker from that shit. Heaven and hell ain't got nothing to do with us.
yeah, they gave me an alternative. If I take the children out, then I got to put them through the whatever. I was like, I don't give a damn. I just don't want them in the school. So I'm just saying, if they having them issues, that's an alternative.
Yeah, they not gonna never want to agree,
Yeah,
but they need your consent. Why you think you had to sign papers at the beginning of the year?
period. Oh, and talking
But I
about that,
do want to pre-warn people. We're not just talking. Just got a message in the inbox from somebody from London, and you know her child was taken. They're taking children.
yeah,
So
that's what
imagine
I'm saying.
if an
They
emergency
taking the
happened and your
kids.
kids got locked down and you can't get to them. That's insane. That would drive me nuts.
Yeah, but
Listen,
that's
the
their
school
threat. That
shootings.
if you making sure that these kids not doing the classes online, they coming and snatch your kids. Period. Either way.
Hey, look. So that just the next one I'm gonna do is called Charlotte Elizabeth and No Child Left Behind about the educational system.
We need that.
Cause she got a whole series of videos on YouTube. Her name is Charlotte Iserby. I call her a little bit, but she an old lady who was in charge of the No Child Left Behind program. She was originally brought in, I think, under either Carter or Reagan, and worked through Bush, Clinton, and she quit in the second Bush first administration of the second Bush.
I bet you it was around 2012.
She quit before that, but
Okay.
around 2012 is when she started coming out as a whistleblower on the educational system and how it was designed to miseducate the children, right?
I'm
I got
learning that
some.
was a marker, bro. Whatever their investigations to all this sexual abuse and stuff with these presidents goes back to 2012. And that's what part of the National Guard's job is on land, is to deal with the sexual assaults of the people that
So look,
are, I guess,
they telling us,
the oath
right?
keepers.
They telling us they calling the National Guard in to support the COVID effort, but that can't be the case.
No, but think about it. All the people that have been testing positive for COVID, aka guilty, the National Guard are about to round them up. They've been watching them. It was like a catch and release, and they've been studying them and getting intel on how many repeat offenders there were. It was so much code in the stuff today. Like it was weird to talk about the National Guard. They would kept saying the National Guard's having a problem with its members being sexually assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically, they're manipulating it or using what they need to, because the military cannot come on American soil.
Yep.
So in order to round up the people on American soil that are sexually one of them real pedophiles, and they have been. We've been watching them get caught and have the boot, but they were still around, and they're eventually being cycled out. But they're about to go do the full sweep of the big ones, them big fish, publicly.
Okay, the reason why I brought that up is the protocols for the changing of government.
Changing the guard.
we already in the middle of the switch.
Yes,
We can see,
at the end.
but most of us don't know what to look for. So I'm gonna go over it real quick.
Okay,
Borders have to be closed,
check.
right? All of the port borders is closed. Border ports is closed, right? Now, the next thing that has to happen is the continuity of government have to be activated, which is FEMA. FEMA worked with the Indigenous Rights Act.
Yep.
They go hand in hand under the continuity of government because the Indigenous Rights Act revert all power on native land to the native authority. The indigenous people of the land, the Indigenous Rights Act returned the power to govern the land and the people on the land with the Indigenous Rights Act of 2017.
Yep.
The next thing that we've seen happen, okay, so we know Trump was in Colorado and at the continuity of government location, right, which is Raven Rock, right? We also know that while he was there, they also flew out that robot called Biden and Chucks and Pearls. They both was there.
Yes.
So we know that something dealing with continuity of government is taking place, right? We know that they about to declare Biden incompetent to hold the function of the office of president. It's just a matter of when, right? And if Biden can't carry the function, it goes to Kamala, who already under the 25th Amendment assumed the power of the presidency because she can't return it back to a head of state with dementia. Right? It's already on record that Biden has dementia. It's already recorded that his son had a whole.
But I don't think they passed. I read the 25th Amendment and a lot of different articles around it. One of the things Congress had to bring Kamala back in.
Mm-hmm.
What you
and
mean?
They didn't do that. They had to do a vote. And I haven't seen that vote.
A vote for what?
Right, it's right after that or it didn't. And Biden keeps slipping up and actually calling her president.
Mm-hmm. But what do they got to vote for?
No, and if you just read when he was sick or incapacitated, it was certain protocols that they were supposed to do that they didn't follow, which is another sign that they were rude.
Well, one of the things they were supposed to did, and it's not on record, is when he woke up from the anesthesia, he was supposed to go through what they call psychological evaluation to make sure he's fit to resume his powers because he was incapacitated. Right? It's standard protocol. It's nothing new. All the motherfuckers did it.
Yeah.
When Bush had his colonoscopy and signed the 25th Amendment for Cheney, then they did an evaluation.
So we saying the same thing. It was a lot of things that they didn't do.
Right. See, so this is how you seeing through the smoke and mirrors, but the other people that can't see through it think we crazy. Oh, y'all reaching.
Yeah.
And it's not reaching.
Yeah, period.
So the border's been closed almost 3 months now, if not longer. All right.
And the Texas National Guard is holding the line. And the state is paying for it. But the deal is, from what they're saying, is the Lone Star State, Texas, is rogue. They're not following anything that the government's doing. The federal or whatever. So it was brought up so many times about Texas today.
Right. So that goes back to Texas's agreement with the Congress to participate in union affairs. Texas is the only state in the union that's never been a state.
Yeah.
Other than Puerto Rico. Texas always reserved their independent status. It's in their constitution and their state constitution, and it's in the treaty agreements to establish the state of Texas. At any given time, Texas is authorized to cede from the union and form up to 5 separate governments within its borders.
That's New Jerusalem. That's where they're gonna eventually have the United States or whatever they want trying to resurrect right there.
Well, ain't no more United States. That corporation dead and ain't
I
coming
know
back.
that, but you know what I'm saying? What their rally cry is Trump all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's end this video, and then we're gonna come back on, and we're gonna start taking the callers in.
All right.
Tomorrow, all right then.
I'll talk to y'all in a little bit.
You okay? You feeling okay?
Yeah, I've been making sure. I went to my herbalist today, and he gave me a couple of stuff to, kind of monitor the heart a little bit. So we hanging in there.
The funny thing is, while I was just around people, and I pick up. I'm empathic, so I hear people's chatter, and there was a younger girl, probably 19. She sat down. She was like, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm having a contraction."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "I know this energy because it's a KP6 that hits you in your womb first, ladies. Like cramping or feeling like you about to get your period or something. Like she sat down and was like asking for pain pills. So later she was like, "You just have Erica Badu vibes," and I'm looking at these people like, why are these just saying random shit to me? Like,
So
it's
look,
just weird that we all are kind of feeling it. Some people feel it in the heart palpitations. Some people definitely get the headaches, migraines.
Yes.
It just depends on where, I sometimes get it in my stomach.
I get it in my
So now,
the majority it catches me on my heart or my head. I had a real bad headache today, but the heart rate was up, elevated. But then it was all the ascension symptoms all at once. It was just too much.
Yep.
So
it is.
okay, so the title of this video is Metaphysics and Mitochondria. And in the beginning of the video, I was talking about the mitochondrial connection to the. It's funny that this would be a good way to end it too. The heart and the central nervous system, right? And when you start, your mitochondria is going to turn up, right? And this is going to give women almost like contraction symptoms in the uterus that y'all was just talking about, right? And accelerate irrhythmic heartbeats, right? Because you're trying to find the right rhythm.
Yes.
Because remember, your heart is your
Earth
internal drum.
or somebody just turned Earth up, so we're trying to, you know what I mean? You just got like ramped up.
Yeah.
So your heart is your internal drum.
Yes.
So when your mitochondria start turning up, you can't. It ain't gonna no longer carry the. It's gonna go.
Rashida, what did I say about the drums yesterday, though? What did I say?
Right.
That's why I like our little. Yeah, I know. We got many little receipt circles.
Yeah. So all that tie back into the activating mitochondria. This is the return of the sweet water.
Yep.
And the more y'all can understand what the symptoms is. Did you see the supplement that I put up earlier, the PQQ?
No, I didn't see that.
All right. Okay, it's a supplement called PQQ. It's a mitochondrial stabilizer, and it helps to fuel the mitochondria.
Yes.
Right, but with that you should be taking a CoQ10. A CoQ10 is for the heart rhythm. It's the supplement that regulates heart rhythm. Right, it do other stuff for the heart too.
So that explains the ancestors in my dream playing the drums the day before yesterday.
Well, it could, because the drum is the heartbeat.
Yeah.
All of the drum is, when the drum was created, it was created to mimic the heartbeat.
Want me to go outside and dance in the midnight hour? I was like,
but I was dancing, so you got my telepathic message, because I was literally dancing, and it was an 808 beat though.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like,
Now
I
look,
will tear that 808 backward and flip it.
look at the 808. It's an 88 seated queen on the third eye flip off a mirror, right? So it's an 8 on the left, an 8 on the right, those two B's.
There it is.
And it's a BOB flip. Airplanes and shooting stars.
Come on, right. Listen, I ain't saying no more.
Yeah. So I'm gonna exit out here. We're gonna come back in and we're just gonna do a general discussion after that.
All right.
Okay.
All right.